BI training session. And then today we have a session about Power Automate with Adil. Is that how you pronounce your name? Or is it okay? Adil Abdu. He is from SquareOne Technologies, and he's going to tell us all about automation, about Microsoft Power Automate, how you can use it to create smarter workflows. And then we're going to look at really exciting demos as well. Of course, after the session, we also have pizza as usual, where you get to network and connect with different people, connect with our speaker, connect with us as well. And for those of you who don't know us, we have myself, Fatma, Fateh, Cher, and Hamza. We're part of the organizing team here at Azure Culture Community. Any questions before we get started? Okay. Oh, one last thing. Where are they? Is it there, Fateh? 3 months? Yeah. So for those of you who are regulars, you do know that we'd like to keep it interactive. We want to check who keeps listening and participating. So at the end of the session, Adil is going to ask you 3 questions related to the content that we covered. And if you answer it correctly, you walk away with a Microsoft mug. So that's really cool. Okay, I think we're already a bit behind schedule. So let's get started. Adil, on to you.
So,
Do you want to use a microphone?
is my voice is audible?
Better use one.
Okay.
Here.
Thank you. So, hi all. Good evening. Thank you all for coming up, showing your interest over to understand Microsoft Power Automate and how the Power Automate, like your interest in showing up how Power Automate will be useful for your business organizations. So, yeah. Wait. So, yeah, you might be already heard about the Microsoft Power Platform ecosystem, or you might be already heard about the automations happening around all our. So maybe we know about different tools. Maybe we have a lot of tools of doing automation currently in the market. There are a lot of plenty of tools, like a daily basis, and new AI tools have been coming up in the market. So in this case, we have our Microsoft Power Automate, Microsoft Power Platform ecosystem that we have. Yeah. So Microsoft Power Platform ecosystem that we have. So this Power Platform ecosystem, like this has multiple tools. This has a multiple amazing tools we have. Let's start from the first one, like a Power Apps. Maybe you might be heard about, or you might be seen about the Power Apps. It's like a low-code application development that we use mainly. Like we can build apps, applications by using this Power Apps. This can be used for the web as well as for the mobile application. Next, the Power Automate. That's our topic today. Power Automate. Why we use Power Automate? We use Power Automate like process automation, like a business automations. It's also low code. There is no need of like a multiple, like a bit hard code of job here. Just like a low code, like a drag and drop things happening. Next, the latest one, Copilot. Copilot is a conversational agent, like a AI agent, it's AI powered agent that can be triggered up, that can be create like an agentic, that can create the agents which can do your job. Like this can be like an autonomous agents, and we have a conversation agents. We have so a lot of new possibilities are coming with the Copilot Studio also. The last one, the fourth one, Power Pages. So Power Pages, it's like a building up a website. This website is like a mainly the secure, like a data-centric websites that we build. This can be mainly used for the like an external purposes. If you want to connect to any outside organizations, that we can use the Power Pages. The last one, Power BI. It's very familiar. It's been the first guy in the Power Platform. Power BI, it's mainly for the data analytics and data visualizing. Like we can get the data from the different sources, like the sources that we are going to see here. Like you can see, we can get the data from the Microsoft Dataverse, or if we can get it from the Excel, SharePoint, anywhere, we do with the Power BI. So these are all of the connectors. These all are enriched with the AI Builder data connectors. We're going to speak about the data connectors today. And we're gonna speak about the AI builder today, and we're gonna speak about the Power Automate today. And we have the Microsoft Dataverse. This is like the storage, and for the Power Effects, it's a low code functional language, and we have the managed environments too. So now let's about the Microsoft Power Automate, the content for today. It's for the business automation, process automations, like with like a work every day we have to work as a smarter. So like without having any coding background, we can do the automations, we can do all our streamlining, all our daily operations in our jobs, and we can focus more on our complex tasks. Like if you have any kind of manual jobs that has to be performed in your daily, like 3 to 4 hours, you are doing a repetitive job, and you want to you are spending all your efforts on that job, so you are not able to get focus on your complex other tasks. So in this case, we can consider having this Power Automate. So yeah, the benefits of using Power Automate, as I mentioned, it's like time consuming. Like we will get a we can consume our timings, and as well as we have the capabilities of having like RPA, DPA, IPA, like intelligent process automation, digital process automations, and the robotic process automations. So this Power Automate comprises of all these three features that we have, and we can have the daily, as I mentioned, we can optimize our daily operations with like if we have any complex process that we can optimize it. Now, yeah, as I mentioned, what's the features of Power Automate? We have the as the name says, automation capabilities. We have the RPA capabilities, and we have the AI builder capabilities, like enriched with the AI, and we have the process mining capabilities. Yes. So how we can, so suppose we have our office task is based on like Outlook, or maybe based on Excel, or maybe based on SharePoint, or maybe Teams. So you have to connect to all these components, like you have the Outlook, you have Share, all these components. So Power Automate, it's very easy to, everything is like under Microsoft, so very easy to connect with all these components. Very easy, like seamlessly we can connect with any Excel, Teams, SharePoint, any other. Like we have more than 1,000 plus connectors available with the Microsoft Power Automate. So it's seamless integration between all these products, all these components is the best advantages of Microsoft Power Automate. Yeah, as I mentioned, 100 plus connectors. And also suppose some applications we don't have the connectors available, so we can create a custom connectors. We can wrap it up, we can have the API endpoints, and we can wrap it up, and we can prepare our own custom connectors also, and we can publish it even also. So who can automate this? Like whether any development skills needed? No. We can, a business user can start it, like any IT persons can start it. There is no automation background is required for this. So why? What we gonna achieve after we do automation? So we have an efficient and accuracy running items. Like now, as I mentioned, we don't need to focus on those items. We can only focus on what our complex item. So this automation will be doing our job for us. So it's giving better results and scalability and event-driven automation, as I mentioned, and cross-platform integration, like a multiple connectivity with the different platforms. Yes, as I mentioned, we have the option of also having an hyper automation. Like we can connect from an AI or a cloud-based automation, so we can have an RPA. Like when we consider RPA, like suppose we have a legacy applications that they don't have any APIs or any connections available. We can have a UI based automations, and we can have a proper RPA based automations can be done. That's, we have the robotic process automation, and we have digital process automation. Digital process automations, like suppose you have you have to automate some scenarios with the Dataverse. Like you have applications with dynamic CRM based applications you have, and you want to automate these applications. How you can do? You can directly do with the digital process automations by directly connecting with the database tables, database entity levels, and you can do your performance with that. So next about the including the enriching of the AI builder, inclusion of artificial intelligence. So suppose you have something like an invoice, you have something like an invoice, consider an invoice. So what you want to do, you want to see some values from that invoice, and you want to enter it in some of the applications, some like you have some Oracle application or you have some other applications. What you want to do, what you like you used to do, like, okay, consider this value, okay, entering into the application. So this is, you're taking your time. So by using an AI builder model, this model will adapt. This model will be capturing these values and can be entered into your endpoint applications. This is also a great feasible options, feasible features that Microsoft Power Automate providing.
Elaborate a bit more. What's the difference between robotic process automation and digital process automation with an example?
Sure. So yeah, I'm coming to this point actually. Yeah. So the difference between robotic process automations, like we have a application level automation. There is no consider you have a web application like a web page. There is no APIs. So you want to fetch some data from that. What you do? You have to screen record each item. You have to screen record each element. Then you need to automate it. Like consider you want to go to some website, some government website or some other websites you want to go to, and need to take like an Excel on daily basis, and there is no APIs or any other endpoints available. So you have to automate it. Like you have to describe the UIs, you have to capture each UI elements from that web page. Then you have to do an automation. Like we can see that, okay, it's clicking. It's the same thing, replacing the, instead of human, the bot will be doing all these jobs. This is like RPA. And the DPA, digital process automation, it's like this, as I mentioned, the seamless integration of with our connectors. Like you have a database, you have to automate some dynamic one. You have an CRM applications. Okay, you want to automate this CRM application. Like some suppose you have a like you have some application that having some data. What do you need to do? You want to create some items. You can do this with the digital process, like a dataverse levels. Like you want to create some items, you want to create some entities, all those things that we can do. Or else you have to create an Excel, you have to create a invoice, and you want to send this invoice, and you want to add some data to the SharePoint list, and you want to take some data to the SharePoint library, and fetching the information from SharePoint library and putting it in any other, like you have an API call, you have an endpoint of any application.
The data is like raw data, data, or just like values from the normal format?
It can be like a normal data. Like you mean if you have a PDF or you have any raw data, it's also fine. We can capture. It can be captured.
So I will take my particular information stuff that I will pick the particular column, any moment, and then get this.
Correct. Yeah, it can be doable.
Without any API.
So what's your endpoint? Like where you need to put this data?
I need some one particular
Yeah, this can be do. Like consider you have a value from your Excel or from any, like you mentioned, it's from the Excel. So this Excel is being stored in the OneDrive. So you can pick it up values from this Excel and can be stored in your database.
Now, manually, what they're doing, the user, the admin, they pick the data. I mean, they're manually updating the Excel sheet.
Yeah.
For example.
Yeah.
Is that what can be done with the automation you're mentioning here?
Yes, this can be doable with the RPA. Like an RPA, if you have a Power Automate desktop installed in your machine, you can do this with the RPA. And if you have from the cloud, you can do like if this Excel is in your OneDrive, you can we can create the flows for it, fetch the values from this Excel, and
so it's depend on the source and
yeah, so it's depend upon the source and the entity or whatever
the can be. Yeah. In the next slides.
Yeah.
If there is a test cases, then everybody will understand what is the use of this each component. Yeah,
Sure, sure.
better because once the test case we discuss, it's get more clear on that.
Yeah. So yes, this was I was been telling about the digital process automation. So we have endless connectors. We can connect to the Salesforce, we can connect to the SAP, we can connect to Twitter, Outlook, Excel. Or whatever the applications. As I mentioned, we can connect with all these applications, and we can initiate our work like 100 of, as I mentioned, we have the different types of flow triggers are available, so we can easily initiate like when an email arrives, or when some items being created in the SharePoint, or when as he mentioned, like when if any new files being created in OneDrive, we can set up, we can trigger the bots. So that kind of way we can initiate an RPA system. And as I mentioned, thousands of actions, like we have a lot of jobs we have to do, so all those operations, there is a lot of plenty of actions is also available. And also like pre-built template, it's like very easy. So sometimes we have very, yeah, it's a task automations, and it's like a task based, so whatever the task you have, we can achieve it. So this is about the connectors and triggers. So you have the connectors. If you want to connect with any, this Power Automate is a SaaS model. So if you want to connect with any other popular connectors, we have like Salesforce or Snowflake or Dropbox or Twitter, any other connectors that can be connected with the Power Automate. So as you see here, there are two types of connectors we have. One is standard connectors, that will be available in every Power Automate plans. Like as I mentioned, all these O365 integrations, all these connectors will be available. But there are some connectors we have. But there are some connectors that is like a premium connector, like connecting to the SQL server, connecting to Azure database, or any other service. That's a premium. So for that we have to pay extra. So there is a two different types of connectors are available in the Microsoft Power Automate. So as we see, there are pre-built workflows are also available in the Microsoft Power Automate. So we'll go to the we'll go to the flow, and we'll see each points what we've been discussing here. So before that, like we have the pre-built, like suppose you have very small job, you have very small task to be done. This task, the template will be already available by the product. So we need to initiate the task, just need to create these items. Like it's like just you press 2 clicks, your automation is done. So you don't want to waste too much hours to build your flows and all. So just 2 clicks, because the template is already ready and it's already available. And also easy customization. So suppose if you want to make any additional logic, or if you want to make any extra efforts, you want to put it like so it's very easy to make changes of these flows also. So this is, as I mentioned, it's very time saving. Like you don't want to waste too much time on creating the flows from the beginning, from the scratch to the end. So the templates, if it's already available, just click it. It's user friendly. It's, as we know, Microsoft using this, it's very easy to understand, and what we want to achieve, it's very easy to understand. So this is all about the home page of the Microsoft Power Automate. So let's start from the left. You can see this left pane window. See, you can see from the home, create templates, learn my flows. So the homepage, this is what we see here. You have all the templates, all the documentations available, and also you have the Copilot capability also. So in the Copilot capability, like you want to create an Excel, like you want to create a flow, just mentioning, yes, create a flow when a new item is being added into this particular folder. Like that, if you mention the flow can be created, and maybe you just need to double check the flow and save it and run it for the purposes. So the Copilot is available. And also we have the option to create the flow, and the my flows will be whatever the flows you be created, it will be there. And we have the approvals, like suppose if you are creating an approval flow, like suppose a job is there, a job like we send a document, our manager need to approve. So he can approve it. It can be sequential approval also, or it's like a one step approval also. So he can approve it, then the rest of the jobs will be done. So all this kind of flows also we can prepare. And also like a solutions, we have AI Hub. AI Hub, it's like, as I mentioned, Power Automate is enriched with the AI capabilities. So AI Hub will be having all the AI capabilities. So we have, as I mentioned here, approvals, solutions, process mining, AI models, rest of flow activities. So these approvals will have, as I mentioned, so suppose if any of the flows sends you any approvals or like any notifications that you need to approve it, all these approvals will be over here. These approvals flows can be like, it can become in your Outlook, or it can become to your Teams, or in SharePoint. We can do in such a way also we can design it. And also we have the solutions like encapsulations of like all your project, like whatever the projects, all the components that you can put it in these solutions. And this will be helpful, like suppose you build these flows and you build all these Power Platform activities in one environment, like a sandbox environment, and you want to change these flows into your production environment. These entire solutions can be transferred to another environment very easily. So we have the process mining, and also we have the for use of Power Automate. Power Automate, like first we have the trial licenses available like for the first 30 days. Then based on your O365 license, the Power Automate will be available to use.
So for instance, if you create a workflow that requires approvals, I mean, you can't have that license for everybody in the company. So you want to design like a payment system whereby it's going to you, the initiator, after the initiator, it goes to the approver. So for the approvers to make use of it, do they need to have a license?
For the approval, there is an option like have a pay as you go also. For you can pay like per flow also. Per flow you can pay the amount. So there are literally a lot of ways for the licenses purposes. So
not by user.
Sorry?
By user.
Not by user?
I'm not saying the license is per user, or just saying it's according to the workflow. If you create a workflow and you have the license, it means anybody can make use of that workflow.
Correct. So if the administrator assign this license to your account, to your domain, so you can use it, you can access it. So it's about like administrator accessing, giving the license, the particular license to particular users. So it's if it assigned to you, you can have all the privileges to work on. So it's all about from the super administrator. They can access it all from the Microsoft admin portal.
Something is that you have a particular license, and whoever is using it, they need to have the license to use it. I think there might be something else as well that you can use it on pay as you go, and you will be charged based on the usage. But I don't know whether Power Automate is included in this. I can come back to you. I can check and then come back and reply on accordingly.
So I have a question. Is it part of the M365 bundle or not?
Yes, it's part of the M365. Yes.
Actually, I have M365, but I can't use it. I'm having error 404. Yeah. Right.
Maybe we could take those specific questions later. You can proceed with these ones and then the demos, and then it'll be more.
So yes, as I was mentioning, the trigger types, like we have different types of triggers that we have. Like we have like an instant flow creations we have, and we have like, as I mentioned, any files being created, or any files being modified, or any items being added to the SharePoint, or any in SharePoint library. So different types of triggers we have, and also as well as different types of flow types also, like a scheduled base. Suppose you want your flows to run on like on everyday morning, or you want to run it on the evening. So different types of flow schedules also be possible. And also we have the we can have like a triggers, like a manual trigger, like instant flow running is also available. So these are the different types of flow triggers we have. And also like there are some use cases that we can tell about. This is like suppose we have we have a customer, we work on like they have an invoices like a daily basis, they have a very large amount of invoices they have. So what we do, we use this AI builder capability using the custom model. We train these invoices, and this invoice will be capturing the informations from the document, the fields from the document. Then we'll run like they have the endpoint. They want it in the UI automation. So we run the Power Automate desktop, like, and all this information will be fetched into the application. Like consider it's a SAP application, and we can have this SAP automations available in the Microsoft Power Automate desktop. So easily this will be integrating with the help of like Azure Relay and UI Flow services. So next we coming to the AI. As I mentioned, it's a low code. It's very easy, like a low code development. Directly just like we have the form processing, OCR, invoice processing. We have the receipt. If you have any receipt or like any like a QID, any ID, any like, and we have like a text categorization, entities extraction, like any key phrase extraction that to be done, and like in sentiment analysis and language translations. Like suppose we want to translate any language, like there are 6 types of languages available to convert, so we would be able to convert it. And also like now recently the prompt engineering with the help of GPT models. And we have the and we have also like image classifications, like image detection. So if we send an image, we can understand, okay, what all are the objects is in the image. Like suppose we send an image of like a Doha with having the buildings, so it can return with the says, okay, this buildings, skies, roads, like that. Whatever the objects being detected, whatever the objects being identified in the images, that can be sent it back. And also like quantity predictions and or like a prediction model is also available based on what data we provide. And sorry.
What AI models are used in this?
So we have some pre-built and custom models that we can have for this to do. Even for the sentiment analysis or language detection, we have the pre-built model. It's available in the AI builder, so we can use it. That
Pre-built is based on which model?
it's not based on any model. It's ready available. It's like a ready to use from the portal.
It would probably be, I'm not sure of the exact models, but it would probably be like custom models that are built by the Microsoft engineering team. For it's like, for example, for document intelligence, it would be custom models built, probably like some CNN based document models to detect certain features. If it's for that, for sentiment analysis, probably a different model. You can also connect it to some GPT models as well. I think there's a GPT 4.1 and 04 and all these other ones. And you can even connect it to Foundry as well. If you, let's say you have the services in Azure and you want to send a request to it, there's a Foundry connector as well.
For the OCR part, do you have any specific information?
About the exact model, it would just be similar. I wouldn't, I'll check the docs, but I don't think it's mentioned. It's sort of like a custom model trained and built by the engineering team. I think it's based on plan or some other architectures. I'll check and let you know.
Ideally, all of the AI builder capability are based on the Azure AI capabilities. So, and it's based here in the AI builder and a low code manner. So Azure, if you want to, for example, apply OCR, data extraction or anything in Azure, it's going to be a little bit more require advanced development requirement. But here in the AI builder, it's brought to you as a low code. So in terms of document intelligence, for document processing, it's built on the same Azure capability. So you can find in Azure, for document processing, you have many models, 4.0, 4.5, I think. There are many models. All of them you will get in the AI builder without the need to take any consideration for what exactly model you're going to take. You're going to take the latest one, and some of them are pre-built for you, which means that it's ready for you to start using, or it can be customized.
Yeah. And for specific, a lot of models, as far as I know, they're based on FLAN, which is an architecture built by Microsoft.
The reason of asking for specific model was to assess whether the enterprise use cases can be supported via the Power Automate functionality, because it got recommended to us that
the OCR could be a replacement towards the Azure AI Foundry models. So not to build like a full AI use case, but rather use Azure Automate and the OCR capabilities for enterprise use cases. So I just wanted to understand that what level of
Yeah. So I think there's probably going to be some demos around it, but there are like it was mentioned. What's your name again?
My nose is.
Firas. Yeah, so it's the Azure AI models that are available there. You can have them in Power Automate. If not, you could bring your own custom ones. And even in Power Automate, there's the AI builder functionality, right? Where you can train based on some invoices and have like your own custom doc intelligence.
So we have the custom model capabilities, like suppose you have an OCR extraction, so you're meaning, so we can train the models and generate the results based on that.
Enterprise, in terms of utilization of enterprise, I think you have many cases that support. So
and the language detection is both audio and text, or just text?
Just with the text. Language detection, yes, the text. So
is it possible with audio, if you give it like a MP3 file or a WAV file, would it be able to? It should be, right?
yeah, it should be.
Through an Azure AI endpoint. Yeah.
If we can convert this MP3 file, then it will be like.
Then we could require speech to text service at the start to transcribe it.
I think let's discuss this offline, because what you're mentioning, I think I've seen similar use cases with it, and it would be possible. So let's drill into that. What was your name again? Asad. Okay.
So see, this was being talked, like we have the two types of model. We have like a pre-built model, like a custom AI models that we have. So the pre-built model, like we have form processing, any kind of forms that we have, like any kind of invoices, or like any agreements, or like any kind of structured documents that we have. We can directly input to the AI model, and it can be fetched, give the results. And we have the custom AI models also, like suppose we have some more complex layouts at different layouts it can have. So in this case, we can use this custom AI models to build the model. And since it will be easily integrate with other, if we want to integrate this with the Power Apps, or if it with any other Power Automate, it's very easy to be integrated. So this is all about an architecture for the AI builder model. So you have the AI border, like text recognition, OCR, and you have the receipt processing and business card reader, identify documents, sentiment analysis, category classification, and text translation, and entity identification, and language detection. All these are the pre-trained AI models, which means that we don't need to we don't need to additionally train any of your documents. So once you apply your documents, this would be giving you the results. This would be giving the best results from the document based on the document clarity and everything. So if you have the custom, like you have the custom invoice model, you have, and custom object detection, you have like a category classification, or like a custom prediction model we have. And these all are connected with the Copilot Studio. We can connect the Copilot Studio, Power Automate, Power Apps, or any other dataverse sources. And overall, this is like it's under the Azure platform.
Which regions, sorry, is this available in?
This available, like suppose now we have the Qatar, all these regions, West Europe, all these regions are available.
It depends on where your Office 365 is solution, because it's a SaaS service. You don't choose it as a service or like that I want to deploy in this region. If your tenant is in, let's say, in West Europe, okay, then your Power Automate, you don't select that I want to create this service and in this region. It will automatically take the region where your tenant is. You don't have, because it's a SaaS service, you will not have an option to select a region. The other thing is you ask very good questions about what type of models we have, right? I'm not in the domain, but I can now looking into this, I can explain it. A lot of time in the Power Automate, there are models which is mostly from our cognitive services, which Microsoft has built, which if you are using Azure, you deploy the model as your own. But with these kind of SaaS service, this is coming out of the box. So you don't provision that separately or charge separately. It is coming within the portfolio itself. But if you want to bring your own model, let's say you want to use OpenAI or something which is in your own Azure environment and you want to bring that, then it will be like the APIs, which is the custom model. You just bring the APIs from there and then you integrate this in with the connector, and it will work. But the region, most of the things like if you go to Power BI, okay, it's Power Automate Suite. You don't select where your Power BI is deployed. When you sign up for the agreement, it will go to a particular area, and that is where your tenant is.
The AI cognitive services, they're mainly available from Sweden Central or Central Europe regions. But
you are right for the cases where you are deploying it yourself in Azure. Consider that as a Power Platform. Power Platform, you are using SaaS. So when you are using SaaS, you don't define the region. It will automatically go to the region where you are. So in most of the cases, when you are talking about Qatar, okay, I know that most of the customers, their tenant are hosted in West Europe. Okay, so there will be an API which is coming from the Qatar, but a lot of services are global services. So you will not even know that, for example, where in Europe it's getting.
The basis of my question was that my tenancy, for example, is in Qatar, but I have the use cases where the document storage cannot leave Qatar.
Yeah.
So in those scenarios, loading those documents to Power Automate, because the AI services primarily are offered by Sweden Central. Microsoft is recommending for Sweden Central. So in those use cases, how does the data security comes in?
Good question. If your old tenant is in Qatar, okay, and you are deploying, let's say, the Automate. First, if these services are available, you will be able to see this functionality. If it's not, it will block you. It will not be able to do it until you explicitly say that I want to do it. So if you have, let's say, moved all your tenants to Qatar, okay, then some of the SaaS service will not work. Some of the SaaS service will not work because that region is not powered by GPUs or like the service itself. So you will see that this service is not available. Okay, but I can check this. If you have specific thing like this that your tenant is, we can talk offline. If your tenant is in Qatar Central, we can check, and then I can give you like the link where if this functionality is available, whether this is hosted from AI, your data is going out or not, it will be in the governance portal that where your data is. If you block your security, it will not go out of your region.
One more thing, because you mentioned like bring my data to Power Automate, but correct me if I'm wrong, you don't bring the data to Power Automate. Power Automate is just like an orchestrator for this, right? So your data, it just like tells this to, you just call the APIs to move
If I need
things.
to do an OCR, so you would stage the document somewhere for OCR to run.
You would call an endpoint from Power Automate to process it.
You will call the as Faraz mentioned, this all it's the backend, it's Azure. So if all the documents will be in Azure, so it's just training this and just giving the results back. It's not storing the data anywhere in the location, correct? Yeah.
It's just
What you are asking is if the API is hosted in there, the transfer will happen on the wire. Okay, there is no doubt. We cannot like check that. For example, if your data is there and it needs to do a prediction, it will bring the wire, the data on the wire. It will not store it, but it will tell you the prediction and it will be stateless service. But if, for example, if your use case is not allowing to do that, okay, then we have to discuss that separately because that is like more than what the solution can provide. This is the security and compliance discussion that we can discuss separately with Microsoft, and I can help you with that. Yeah.
Let's proceed because I think we have a lot of demos to show us as well.
Okay. So these all are the we have the prompt generation also, suppose the same thing we've been talking, we have new capability having with the prompt. So by using the GPT models that we can summarize the text and classify, extract the text based on the prompt. It's like if you can share the document or you can share the text, it can be generate the document based on the GPT models. So some business scenarios that we have, some receipt scanning or any digital marketing campaigns based on your historical patterns, or any prediction models that based on our own business data that we can deploy by using this AI. So the benefits of using AI, no coding required, as we mentioned, no coding required, and it's seamlessly integrating with the different components that we have, and we can generate a more meaningful task. We can develop with more meaningful tasks, and more decision making and great flexibility and adaptability. So now let's come to the robotic process automations. Like we have the automate UI, we can have a UI automations over the platform, over the applications. And suppose there are some legacy applications will be there which we cannot call through API, or we cannot call through like any connectors available. So in this case we can use like a UI based automation we can deploy, and this automation will do the same as like a human like a same as a human interact, like a click, drag, drop, and everything whatever the human needs to do on that application, that can be done with the robotic process automations. Uh, so this is like a hyper automation, like bridging the gap. Like suppose if you have any applications that without APIs, and if you have like any applications that with APIs. Suppose you have some documents, or you have some applications. Consider an example as a scenario, like you have a document a reconciliation file. You will be receiving it like a daily basis. So as mentioned, we have an email trigger, like a scheduled based email trigger. This schedule based email trigger will get the attachment and will be sent to the desktop flows. So from the desktop flows, this Power Automate desktop can do the reconciliations based on the excels, based on the logics and everything that we can be performed, and it can be sent it back. Such kind of scenarios that can be made it using with the Microsoft Power Automate and with the Power Automate desktop. Like, and consider any another case scenarios, like as mentioned, like we have some kind of invoices, a large number of invoices, and you want to apply this values from these invoices to the SAP or any other endpoint applications. That can also be done with this Power Automate and Power Automate. So this is just like an interface that we have, like the Power Automate desktop interface. We have like it's just like a drag and drop the actions, like a wide range of actions capabilities available. It's just a drag and drop of actions, and we have like a error controlling and error handling, and also we having like automating any desktop applications, or automating any web-based applications, and also we can generate the detailed logs and the analytics that we can apply. So this is all about the Power Automate desktop, Windows, and services. And another feature that we have with the Power Automate, connecting with the Power Automate, like we have attended and unattended sessions that can be made. Attended, it's like human is interact, like as a human is there. So it means like there is already the machine, it's been signed in. So it's like human can see how the job is, how the automation is been going on. In the unattended session, it's like the entire machine is being signed off. So the Power Automate will understand that okay, it's been already been connected. So machine the Power Automate will understand the machine is available and it will be running it. So we'll not be see like how the bot is running. It will be completely the machine will be in the signed off state. So we have the we have like automation accelerate the high volume, and like if we have a lot of volumes of data that we have, we can just do with this and unattended sessions. And yeah, that's all about this attended and the fully automated unattended session.
It does not have to run.
Yes, machine has to be there. So machine will be like in the signed out. Machine will be connected. This particular machine will be connected, but this will be signed out, like in off state it will be. The Power Automate will be indirect. So it's like will not be see that will not be see with an active screen, but the machine will be the bot will be running it on.
For example, my one job is to, whenever there is an email received, it should pick up and forward it to someone.
Yeah.
Or take any action. So for that RPA to run, do I need to have the desktop logged in?
Suppose you have an email pickup, like suppose you want to do once an email receives, what you have to do, like
create an entry on Excel.
Create an entry on Excel. So this can be, it's based on your choice, whether it should be an attended or unattended sessions that can.
Unattended. So if it is an unattended, do I need to have the laptop or my session on, or can I leave the laptop off and it will still run?
It's like we'll be connecting this machine based on this Azure Relay, and with the UI flow services, this will be connected already. Like this credentials, and it will be integrated already. This Power Automate cloud service and this desktop applications, it's already been integrated. So we'll keep this application just sign out. The laptop will be in the sign off state. That doesn't mean that it's fully off. So this will be like in the sign out state. So the bot will be running.
Laptop has to be on and connected to a Wi-Fi.
Yes.
It's fine.
Which one? No, this is like a RPA, robotic process automation. It's like a desktop-based application. Desktop. So it's like you want to run this desktop any flows or desktop any application, any automations. You can just schedule this from the cloud. So from the cloud, then this is the two choice that is available. Either it can be like a cloud attended, or either it can be an unattended session. So unattended session, it means that it's like the session will be the machine will be signed out, but it will be active. It's actively integrated between. Yes, from the cloud.
Let's make it simple, Ali. So imagine like this. So you have a robot. You put this robot on top of this computer to automate your manual tasks. And these two modes, you have the attended mode, which runs in cooperation with the human, and you have the unattended mode, which runs totally separated from the human. Different scenarios. So attended will help you with, customer service requirements. So you want this robot to go and apply some activities and come back to you with the result. This is unattended. You are triggering it, you are giving it input and everything. Unattended robot is sitting by itself, not necessarily on a laptop. It can be on a virtual machine, on a server or anything. This robot is responsible of treating everything on the background. So it will be automatically triggered whenever any new input is received, let's say invoices or whatever it is. Once it's processed, it will automatically process these steps and complete the action. So imagine it as a robot sitting on top of a computer doing these repetitive tasks. This is the easiest way to understand what this robotic is.
Just consider a very small sample use case here. Then we'll move to the power or the flow, and we'll see the capabilities. So let's see an approval flow. So when an email is being arriving, and you can convert the content from the email, and we can run it on a prompt generation, like I mentioned the GPT model. Then you can wait for an approval, you can give the approval to any persons that been arranged. Then you can do like a prediction model and send this response back to your teams. So you can see it's like then we connect that with the with the run Power Automate desktop, that we connect with the Power Automate desktop. And if it's not been any exceptions, we'll be sending an email. So this is like something, if you send an email and it will be coming, and also we have the adaptive card that can be connected to the team so as well. So now see this desktop flow and a legacy application. A legacy application is been sending a reply back to the use case. So let's go back.
Got the example that was shown, like, consider a lot of time if you I'm also there, right? I'm just explaining that there is a lot of time that you have some case or some website, you just say contact us or contact by email. So when the customer is interacting with the business, there is so many emails that they want to know which department or which team to direct. And when you call them, they just say press 1 to do this or 2 to do this, because they want to direct it to the right team member, so you can get the answer quickly rather than go while you're doing it. So consider when the email is sent, there is a complaint or something like that. Based on that, it will extract the key information. It will understand what department to follow. It can either reply to you or pass it to that department, that it's a complaint or a feedback or maybe some appreciation and things like that. So you can save time. So this is what I understood from this, and then you can reply back. If there is an action that is needed before even replying back, you can send a thank you email before that I have received it, and then you action it accordingly. Similar to like what you can see in Twitter nowadays, that you tag a company that, oh, this service is not good, and they start replying quickly. How they do that? Because they pick up that information, because not a human person is just all the time tagging it. They just automate it, that when a Twitter or X has a particular details or tag a particular company, I want to know this, what is the feedback or what they are saying, so I can reply accordingly and I can take an action. So a lot of time I've seen that they say, oh, this service is not working. I have like a fintech service. I have done the payment, but the other person has not received, and they just say apologize and things like that, and we will fix it. Can you just, this is your ticket number, and then call us back. So this process can be automated, then, and a lot of like the effort can be reduced accordingly. Please let me know if I have summarized it correctly or not, but I just want to make sure that the team understand what we are explaining.
Yeah, so this is what the interface, that Power Automate interface that we have here. So you can see the Copilot option that will available, like based on our requirement, we can text it based on the requirement. So the flow, the Copilot can be create the flows for us, and also we have you can see options like for the templates that we've been already discussed. So you can see this is the pre-built templates that been already here with, you see, if you have an email attachments, so all these available templates that's been already available. So just click one templates and the flow will be ready always. So we have another one. It's like, you see, creating the flow. If you want to scratch a flow, if you want to create a flow from the scratch, we have, as I mentioned, we have the three options. Like one, it's like a automated cloud flow, and we have an instant cloud flow and scheduled cloud flow. Automated cloud flow, as I mentioned, it's like triggering it's like a trigger, like when an item is being received, or when an item is being added in some locations. So this flow, this kind of schedules flows can be created. It's like an instant flow, like you want to trigger the flow at the moment, that times we can be created the instant cloud flow. And we have, as I mentioned before, scheduled cloud flow, like you have a cloud flow that has to be run like on a daily basis, or like maybe sometime you have to run it on the morning, noon or evening. All those games you can schedule the flows based on this scheduled cloud flow. So and also, like as I mentioned, we have the approval. This is the approval flows we have, and solutions. This we have the solutions, like whatever the solutions that we can be created. All the solutions will be here, and we have the automation center. This automation center, it's like whatever the flows you've been created, even in the desktop or even in the cloud, you can see the flow tracking, like how it's performing, when it's failing, how many fails, how many success. All those, it can be present as a graphical representation that will be seen here in the automation center. And you can see in the machines that, like how many machines, whatever the machines being connected, like maybe as mentioned, any virtual machines, or it can be like any physical, other than a physical laptop, it can be any virtual machines also, it can be. So how many machines being connected, all those machines will be listed here. Whatever the machines being connected to this particular, we can be see it here. So we have this now. Let's go with the, let's prepare one flow from here directly.
What is striping? All these things you can develop on your own writing on the code. But what is the advantage that, for example, a lot of time is wasted on these integrations or connectors. So that's the first thing. If the connector is already built in, you don't have to build on your own. The other thing is that you want to automate it. A lot of time, like the people who are understanding the process flow, they will not be techies, that they will not know how to code it. So this will be very easy. Like once they understand what are the trigger, what are the main concepts, then they can create, like the business team can create their own flows or automation accordingly. The other thing is, which is now like everything has Copilot, right? Because we want to reduce the time. So also like people, if they don't want to understand, they just give the requirement and it can build something from scratch, and then you can customize it accordingly. So it will just save time. So yeah, that's what you can see, that if somebody is a lot of time who are hardcore coders, they say, I can do it as well. You can do it, but it will save you time.
When
Yeah.
automation depend on many things like triggers and schedule and everything. So consider the trigger one. Like as you said for the Twitter, someone tagged your company. So where this trigger will be defined? In the Power Automate or in the Twitter? Like how it will work? I want to understand.
Sure.
So where the trigger will initiate, and then based on that trigger, we'll work on the flow, how to act it.
Sure. I'll explain the concept, okay? I'm not on the Power Automate side, but the logic, the logic app and everything
Yes.
works the same. So whenever there is a connector, the connector will have different things. There is an action in the trigger, like in the connector, or there is a trigger type of action. The trigger, when you connect to Twitter, as an example, you will have a business ID that, for example, this is my Twitter account and things like that. You will get an application key. That application key, when you put into the connector, it will authenticate that you are the right user to do this. Okay? And then what you need to do is that you just say, whenever this happens or somebody tags it, the API triggers from the X, but it will trigger that you don't have to do anything. It's out of the box. That is what Microsoft worked with other companies to trigger it. So as soon as somebody mentioned that this company, I have this complaint. So that's why there is a hashtags, right? Because the hashtags is in there. So it will automatically trigger. It will get the whole flow of the information out of that text and tell you what is the action. And then you can see, okay, whether somebody is complaining, you want to understand the sentiment first, whether they are a good or a bad stuff. If there's some key information you want to extract, so you get to the whole flow.
This is when we have already defined connectors.
Yes.
If it's a custom connector,
Yes.
then
So
we have
custom
to build our own trigger.
Yes. Then you have to build your own connectors. And how that will work, whatever you are connecting to, they have to expose the APIs.
Correct.
Okay, so that APIs, we have to build your own connector and then you can publish it accordingly.
Thank you.
Sorry if I'm talking too much, but you are busy getting the demo, so I'm just answering the question.
Okay, I'm not able
to connect here. Okay. I've seen all these like Power Automate, Logic App, the flows. This makes your life very easy to connect to any SaaS service or third party. A lot of time, whenever there is like there was a customer who said that whenever there is a password reset coming, okay, through email or something, or even a chat on the Teams, I just want to create a task for someone, and it will automatically create it. And a lot of time in organization, what is the most common thing? Reset my password. That's why a lot of companies, they get like a self-service resetting as well. But that is again the same thing. As a manager, let's say you are a manager and you just say, okay, whenever my direct report you, when they just like add my name in here, I want to take an action. What they're asking about, maybe you are receiving 1,000 emails per day, as an example. You are a busy manager or things like that. You can take actions accordingly.
For on-prem applications, we can also use this.
So on-prem application, as far as there is connector, like for example, if you just say when an entry is added in an SQL server on-prem, or Oracle on-prem, or SAP on-prem, maybe the connectors will tell you what you need to do. But the service will not be able to connect directly. There will be a gateway. We call it gateways. The gateway will bridge the gap between on-prem and the cloud service, and then it will just like consider a private connection.
Like I'm working in bank, so we have a lot of monthly closing, daily closing. So many things we do it manually.
Yeah.
So can we automate through this?
Yes, the main thing is that what you are like the system that you need to do, okay, whether that expose some APIs, okay, or how to connect. If there's exposed APIs and you know that, for example,
consider both things. Everything is done manually. They have the scripts. The user are sitting manually and doing those jobs.
I will give an example maybe.
If you allow me to add something.
Yes.
So basically for scenarios in banking, and in the absence of a trigger that can be, fetched, what we can use is the scheduled. So what in your scenario, you're talking about reconciliation, for example. Reconciliation is one of the use cases that mostly, very good use cases for RPA. So what will happen is you'll have a scheduled flow. Or scheduled RPA flow that is going to, for example, in the early morning, once the data are ready in place, you will tell this flow to be triggered at, let's say, 7 a.m. Go fetch these data from these places, apply this logic by reconciling these Excel sheets together, or collect some data from some other places, reconcile it, and eventually do a transaction on a specific database, or save this Excel sheet on a OneDrive or any local base. So this is, in case of the absence of a direct trigger that can give you push trigger kind of stuff, you can have a scheduled thing that to go and fetch these data using the RPA. So this is the
most of these applications and databases is on-prem. So
It's fine.
Yes.
As far as the on-prem, the database doesn't matter. As far as you have some, like you will not directly connect to a production database system. You will just decouple it with the API or something. Okay. So as for you do it, I'll just give you a classic example. Consider you are a bank, okay, and I'm a customer. I'm trying to send it to maybe Asad. I'll just like send some transaction to Asad, and Asad say I haven't received it. I'll give you a call that I'm doing a transaction, but it's not working.
correct.
Okay. As an operator, this is the trigger now, because I have called you, it's reached to you, and now you have to take an action. What you need to do is you need to check in the system whether I have done a transaction which is over limit, or whether there's a fraudulent transaction. You might be checking in one system something, then another system something, to reach to a root cause. If you already know that when the customer is seeing this one, okay, the voice can also translate to something like a text or something. The system AI can tell you that this is the things that you need to do. Now, what steps you need to do? You need to first go to, let's say, Oracle, to open a row for this customer and things like that. And then you need to go to another system to check what has happened. And then to all these three systems, if you have the APIs, okay, what you need to do, whatever you do doing the clicking, all you need to do is all the APIs in a sequence. I have done this one, this pass. I have done this one, this pass. And then you reply back to the customer, it's because of the limit, you have already exceeded the limit as an example. Because of this reason, you cannot do it. Try after an hour or something. So I'm just giving an example.
Okay.
Yeah. As far as you have APIs, or you have a way to connect, the connectors will not work for all the system. If you expose an HTTP API, then it's like an HTTP request, and the connectivity will happen through gateways. That's the main point.
I think we have some demos that we can show us now. Yeah. So what are we looking at here?
So you have just looking at some pre-built models. We have some pre-built model like invoice. So like we see
So we see here like a pre-built model and invoice. We use this with a pre-built. Whatever you see, all the extracted informations, like how easily it's been capturing all these informations. If you do like a custom also for this, like we can have like multiple invoices and can be trained. Like if it's a different layouts, we can be trained on this. And if you want to build a flow, we can have the option of have a flow to be built from here, and also we can have a custom model, like we can create it from the scratch even too. So to make it easier, see, for this case, like we are able to connect this with the Dataverse, where the invoice will be taken it up, and also like Office 365. Like we can fetch with this connector, we can get the information of the particular user, his profile, his name, and his job designations, and his reporting manager. All this information, it's we can get it through this action, or through this connector, like Office 365 users. And we have another connector that we are using for this flow. It's like Office 365 Outlook. This like, so you can see like whatever while we creating this flow, these all connectors we are using to create this flow.
For example, I'll give you a use case. Maybe tell me how you can do it like this. So for example, we have our community sessions, and then we order pizza, and then I get a receipt with the invoice. And then can I like use this to automatically, if I just take a picture and email it to a certain email, it will go and log it in my expenses, and then send it for approval?
Yeah.
I can do something like, it'll read my attachment and then read the fields that are needed, fill it up, and then fill in a form. I could do something like that.
Yeah. So you can see from here, it's something set up like that. So it's get the document. It's so this is like either way you get the capture the image and we store in some other locations. Then we capture this document and we are sending it to some other like we need to send this information to any other users that we can do this way.
So the flow can automatically read an attachment, open a PDF, the text fields, and then do it.
Yeah, correct.
Thinking about the errors, right? Consider that usually as Microsoft, whenever we attach something, it is classified with the Microsoft Internet. Consider I'm sending that as an email to you. Okay, you are like, I'm just using, let's say, my office machine to send it to my personal stuff. So it might be sensitive, like the person who's received that, they cannot open it because it has a classification of tag. So the automation can also identify it automatically and send a reply back that you have sent us an attachment which is classified. Please unclassify it and then send us back. So this will also like save you time. One other thing I want to mention, a lot of time when these invoices and things like that you extract, AI is never 100%. There will be always some problems, okay? So you have to assess your use case. Consider that you extract the invoices and you are charging back the customer. Consider that the 49 is read as 59. Okay, you charge 10 extra. The customer can complain that you are not looking into the things, or instead of 49, you charge 39. The customer will be happy, but your business will be losing. So there needs to be done like multiple checking the things, whether you want to, when the extraction happens, there is like a confidence interval. So you can say that, for example, when it's above, let's say 95%, I'm fine that it's okay. And I can, because I'm saving more money for the human resource, I can, some error is okay.
You mean to say for automation job, you need one more automation job to verify?
Yes,
right?
it's based on the case, right? Like how critical it is. If you just say that I'm automating it for, let's say, the doctor has written a prescription and I'm ordering it automatically to do the pharmacy. Okay, now consider that you are a child, like I have a child, let's say, and you have prescribed these medicine. Let's say if it's overdose, it will hurt my child. So you have to define the scenario where you can do automation, where a human intervention is needed, and for example, what part can be done, and then a human can just quickly check, yes, this makes sense, and approve it. So I'm just saying, not to blindly apply everywhere, right? Like you have to use your cases, how sensitive it is.
No, but you mentioned something very key. It's the certainty level. So each AI model, when it extracts any information, it will come back to you with a certainty level. So it will tell you that I'm sure, or the AI is sure about this, about 95%. So this is a good result. In case it's the level is low, maybe because of the bad quality of the scan itself, or the document is stirred up or something, at this point it will trigger a separate flow to collect a human confirmation that, okay, I can proceed with this value or not. So you're eventually you're automating like 90% or 80% of your workload, and you're leaving like 20% for a human. So we cannot get rid of a human eventually.
So whatever the invoice data is converted into XML format, or
Yeah, so it's converted to this format. From this, we are converting again, and we'll be sending as a key values. Like if you have the actions like any combos or like a pass JSON, so we can convert these JSON formats to the required. Yeah. So here, as you mentioned, like there is like the confidence score is there like 96%. So we can consider that this would be the very correct, accurate results. So there could be some extraction, would be like a very less, could not be captured properly. Like maybe it will be like a 20 or like a 10% confidence score comes. So in this case, this can be sent for a customer validation, like a user validation. So like this can be sent over as a Teams. Like if I show you here.
invoice you fetch, where it will store into a Power Automation database or somewhere, because it will process the image.
Yeah.
It will extract the data and send to do whatever we decide. So where this data will store? What is the
like
compliance policy for this? I just want to understand.
So you mean like this data will be stored anywhere? Yes, this it's based on the Dataverse level. So all this data will be stored as a metadata in the Dataverse.
I can explain that more. Sorry if I interrupted you, well, but just want to clarify. So your main, let's say, invoice is in the email. Okay, that is your Office 365.
Correct.
When you extract it, it will bring it to the memory of this information.
Correct.
Now, if you want to save it somewhere, then you just say that I want to extract it from the email and save it like a database or file storage. You will just have a storage another connector where they can save. If you don't save it somewhere, then it's discarded like from the memory. It's like stateless. The end result is what matters. The end result, you transform it from one to the other. In a structured form, you save it to a database. That is the thing. But the file is then discarded if you are not explicitly saving it.
And confidence score, is it coming from training data or is it from the algorithm itself?
So there is something which is out of the box, right? Out of the box, let's say you are doing sentiment analysis or speech or things like that, that will come out of the box. If you are using your own model, okay, then you have to have a mechanism that how to score it. So it depends on the mechanism. Whatever models is using, usually all the models will give you a confidence score. Whatever you do a prediction, it will tell you some way, so you are sure to take an action accordingly.
For example, if I need to fine tune it,
yeah,
can I do it with a bulk number of invoices and improve the?
Sure. So I got the point. There is AI models, okay? I'm not sure about the flow, that maybe my friend can.
Yeah, I think I was showcasing something earlier that you could train some certain PDF files on some, if you have some samples. If the model's not performing well, then you can label some of them and then it will perform better, right? Yeah.
So usually there are two types of training. If you have a fixed type of format, okay, you just need to type, like if you are custom doing a training, each format would have at least 5 documents. That is a good prediction that at least it has seen multiple documents. A lot of time the format is, we have customers in which the format is so disrupted that you cannot like pre-train in a fixed location because it's looking to a particular thing. So what a lot of customers they do is they just take an OCR of that, put it to a GPT model and just say, I don't want to look into a particular pixels or area. I just want to extract the whole text and let the GPT models decide how to extract the information out. So we have done this multiple cases with multiple customers, depend on the scenarios.
So if you see this, this is one sample, like one case for the custom model. Like so if as he mentioned, if you have a multiple types, we have like a multiple invoice with different layouts. The pre-built model cannot work over there. Like it will not give you the best results from that. At the maybe it can work. There would anyway there will be like a limitations will be there. So when it mix with the custom model, it will be like you have at least 5 minimum samples. So if you add more and more samples and you try, it would give you the best results. But if you have like a minimum 5 samples for each layouts or each kind of invoices, this will be giving you the best results, like minimum 5 samples. Like and like let me show you here how it can be created.
Email system, does it have to be from Microsoft?
Sorry.
And a CRM?
Sorry.
Like he's actually can connect to other third-party emails or systems beyond Microsoft ecosystem.
You suppose you want to connect to the Gmail, you mean?
Yeah, some other Gmail or other CRM system.
Other CRM systems like ServiceNow, like we have we can connect with the ServiceNow if its endpoints is available. Sorry?
Notion.
If its endpoint is available, it's ready, then we can connect through even through the APIs. We can connect and we can send requests and get the results with that. We can with the endpoints and if you have the proper authorizations and everything, we can connect through this. So here you see like we have the option like what's the kind of document model that you need to process. Like if you have like a a general document, or it should be like an invoice, or it can be like any contract, any contractor, like any contract agreements that we have, we can do with this, and also with any models, like suppose any school registration forms you have, or any general, any other like lease agreements you have, any like invoices, like invoice from multiple companies or any things that can be also used with this training models.
School fees reimbursement also with this, right?
Yeah, definitely. There can be other thing like just a few scenarios that's coming to my mind, right? A lot of time you have large documents between companies that when they agree, there are a lot big documents which they agree on terms and condition. And every document is stamped with a particular thing. Okay. Now consider there is 500-page document agreement, and there is stamped by both the companies. Okay. So you can do this to parse the pages, ask how many pages out of the 500 were not stamped, and just ask them that only these pages are not stamped, rather than someone looking into memory. And then there are a lot of time when they, on certain pages, you have to do signature. Okay, consider for a visa application, you are asking a signature, or for example, a passport that the guardian's signatures are there with the correct date. So it can automatically process and pass it to before sending it to the embassy and things like that. So I'm just thinking about all these automations can happen.
Possibilities
Yes.
with this.
Yes.
So consider like another scenario, like you have an like you have a business receipt, so some other receipts cards that you have. So like let you place this into like a OneDrive file, so we can do the extraction on these receipts and can share those results in back to the Excel. Like let me show you this. So see here, like you see here the results, like this will be in a JSON format always, and you see the status code, it's like a 200, and the results will be like a column, and the what's the item that we purchased, that's it's been here like hand towel, and this is added into the share in the OneDrive in one Excel. So
And then, if you want, I share with you one use case. I think it will be better just to show, how RPA can work and use AI, and I sent to you.
One other piece I could also think of while showcasing that is the literally anything. For example, let's say a site inspector, a lot of their work is manual. They need to take a picture of something, need to make sure that that there's no faulty parts of this product, and then they need to fill in a form, and then it's go through an approval, and then they need to update the database. So all of these actions can be automated with something like Power Automate. Send it to a model, extract it the fields, and then execute the rest of the tasks. So this is one example. Yeah, go ahead.
So, for example, if I use another automation, not the Power Automation, another automation, I imported that file in my PC, and then can I import it over here? Like you can export the file, right?
You mean export the
after exporting
flow itself?
you mean export the flow to workflow to where you want to be?
For example, so for example, you made an automation in Anatan, and then you imported the file and you want to import it into Power Automation. So can you do that?
Oh, so you mean like a migration. So it's
Yeah.
like a migration. So we cannot do directly like a migration, that we have to rely on another layer, and maybe we need to understand how the logic has been built on the another application, or whatever the source you build it. Then we have to like replicate it with the Microsoft Power Platform. There is no like any direct way of doing a migration activities. It's not in here.
Migrations are just to
we can use the services of Microsoft we can integrate the services,
Yes, there are.
available services.
But
In
the
a,
migration is that you want to move from Power Automate, let's say, from Microsoft tenant to, let's say, your company tenant. Is the same code, you want to move the code, or you want to like migrate from something else to something else?
Like, for example, I imported the system, not the credential, the system, I imported exported the system and I have the file, JSON file, and I want to import it into Power Automation. Can I do that?
All the jobs, whatever you see, there is a JSON file. It essentially is the JSON file. Consider that you are, like, if you're taking the case that you are a company who is developing something for another company.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can build automation in your own tenant. Essentially, what you do is you just give download the files. It can be automated with Git actions as well. It's essentially a file, which is JSON, just like input output. You give that JSON file to the other company, they will import it and they will change the credentials to their own connections, and it will work. Yeah, that is fine.
Yeah, sorry, but from Adhil to Power Automate, that's,
I think that's where I think we need to just like Adam mentioned.
you'll have to map the payments.
But what Cher was mentioning is, let's say from a Power Automate, another Power Automate tenant to another Power Automate tenant, you can do that migration. If it's another tool, then you would need to just check the same connectors, same signatures.
if the services are available, like in any time, the Slack and the Gmail or the GPT Open API keys, or they can integrate. Like, or we have to check for the Microsoft Power Automate. Like, we can connect with the N10 or not, because N10 has set of you can say customs integrations. You cannot integrate anything. They have a set of. You can integrate WhatsApp, Slack. So we have to check the Microsoft Power Automate. Like,
Yeah, sorry. Is there a connector to local drive? For instance, with my team, and at the end of the day, we used to put all the documents, for instance, Excel or CSV file, on a local drive.
Mm-hmm.
So is there a connector from Power Automate to the local drive?
Power Automate to
Local drive.
local drive.
Yeah, the local drive you have to check, but usually whenever you have a local drive, you cannot, like, that is not accessible as an API or anything like that. Okay. But there is a data gateway, what we call a data gateway, or the whatever, like for logical, there is a gateway or an agent which we install. So wherever that is installed, maybe there is a connector to connect to that machine, but not to something else. Okay, so if you install the agent on your machine, because your machine is not accessible by the cloud, if you install the agent and you connect to like an internet, okay, then your computer is authorized to do it. And there is a connector not in the flow, I have to check, but from like data factory, which is under the hood using the same kind of mechanism. So I can read your local drive, whatever you give information.
And Adhil, were you going to say something about?
No, I was going to say the same thing, like having a local drive connecting.
Yeah, because my company and the bank, we don't use one drive.
Okay.
There's some instances that I have several files, and I want to use Power Automate to create a workflow that is going to make it rush. So in that case, it's difficult to do that.
Sorry, I can just ask quickly. Sorry if I'm disturbing you, but the main thing is you don't put it on your local drive. You put it on a shared, or like your file share.
Yeah.
Your file share. So file share have the connectors. File shares have.
You can still use RPA capability to do that. Yeah, even if you have installed it on a local machine, you can run an RPA process. So eventually RPA is going to do the same thing that you do as a human. It's going to go there, copy all of these files, send it to a different place. So this can be done also with the RPA in case you don't have the visibility to apply a data gateway or to, make a synchronization between OneDrive and this local.
Let's walk us through this one, and then let's take the questions for the months, and then we need to go outside because we're already over time. And then the pizza's gonna get cold.
Yeah, I was not there. The licensing model was explained or not yet?
Not in detail, but maybe we can discuss it outside. Yeah. Go ahead. You can just tell us about this one. It seems very interesting.
Yeah. So this is.
There's a video just on it to just show you, like from business value how RPA can help.
There's no sound here.
Oh.
We can.
No. Just give me. Yeah, let's just share it with.
Maybe we can stop the live streaming.
Between platforms, and validate data. Officer and Executive Director of Strategy and Planning for Qatar Post. Their colleagues used to process documents manually, coordinated quality assurance, downloaded and uploaded information between platforms, and validate data. Now I take care of all of that. I'm the digital bot at Qatar Post. If I stop, let's just say Qatar's postal services wouldn't run as smoothly. Before I came to life, my colleagues had so much work, they had to multitask. Now I take care of the routine work. Document handling, done. My colleagues trust me with thousands of dispatch documents daily. I attentively extract information and file it with relevant platforms. Analytics? Check. I browse the international service ratings, parse through data, and ping my colleagues with a report every day. End of shift reporting? A breeze. My colleagues do all the hard work of selling, dispatching, and shipping. I update the data between our platforms. My work frees up my human colleagues for what they do best, making big decisions. Together, we serve every customer in Qatar, enhancing the business landscape here. Power Automate are my hands. Azure Cognitive Services, my brain. The innovation at Qatar Post didn't just bring me to life. It elevated the entire postal services ecosystem in Qatar. When we move forward, the whole community takes a step ahead with us.
So use case like Qatar Post. So Qatar Post has receives this dispatch bills from several countries, and by using the Azure Cognitive Service, we extract these bills. Like it might be like EMS or any other parcel bills will have. So by using this Azure Cognitive Services, we extract these bills and send to their their own database system by using API. So this is one of the use case that we implement. It's like not only one or two invoices, like per day, hundreds or like around thousands, more than thousands of invoice used to receive it like every day. So this is one kind of use case that we did. And like we had another case, like as you mentioned, like a local folder, like they have they have a files in a local folder structure. So what we do, like we take it from the local folder and we move it, like if it's a network shared access is there, we move to the another folder, and it's like a reconciliations RPA jobs that is also been done. And
Yeah, I think we need to wrap it up now. So do you have, let's ask the audience 3 questions that use things that you covered.
Okay.
And then let's see who can, don't answer right away. If you answer right and accept it, you gotta raise your hand, you gotta choose it, then you can answer. And those who've been winning